This is a list of notable events in music that took place in the year 1986. Events: June 30, Madonna releases her True Blue album, tops the charts in over 28 countries and becomes the best-selling album of September 27, 1986. A tour bus carrying the heavy metal band Metallica crashes in Sweden, killing their influential bassist, Cliff Burton. November 17, 18, Billy Eckstine makes his final recordings, later released on his album Billy Eckstine Sings with Benny Carter. December 12, the Smiths play Brixton Academy, their last ever gig before their dissolution. Bands formed: see musical groups established in 1986. Bands disbanded: see musical groups disestablished in 1986. Albums released. January March April June July September October December release date unknown. Biggest hit singles: the following songs achieved the highest chart positions in the charts of 1986. US Top 40 hits of 1986, the following songs debuted into the Billboard Top 40 in 1986 in alphabetical order: Addicted to Love, Robert Palmer, All Cried Out, Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam with Full Force, All I Need Is a Miracle, Mike plus the Mechanics, All I Wanted, Kansas, All the Love in the World, The Outfield, All the Things She Said, Simple Minds, Amanda, Boston, American Storm, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Another Night, Aretha Franklin, At This Moment, Billy Vera and the Beatles, Baby Love, Regina, Bad Boy, Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine, Be Good to Yourself, Journey, Beat So Lonely, Charlie Sexton, The Captain of Her Heart, Double, C'est La Vie, Robbie Neville, Calling America, Electric Light Orchestra, Change of Heart, Cyndi Lauper, Coming Around Again, Itsy Bitsy Spider, Carly Simon, Control, Janet Jackson, Crush on You, The Jets, Dancing on the Ceiling, Lionel Richie, Danger Zone, Kenny Loggins, Day by Day, Hooters, A Different Corner, George Michael, Digital Display, Ready for the World, Digging Your Scene, The Blow Monkeys, Don't Forget Me, Glass Tiger, Don't Get Me Wrong, The Pretenders, Dreams, Van Halen, Dreamtime, Daryl Hall, Earth Angel. New Edition, The Edge of Heaven, Wham, Emotion in Motion, Rick Ocasek, Everybody Have Fun Tonight, Wang Chung, Everything in My Heart, Corey Hart, Feel It Again, Honeymoon Suite, Foolish Pride, Daryl Hall, For America, Jackson Browne, For Tonight, Nancy Martinez, Forever, Live and Die, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, Freedom Over Spill, Steve Winwood, Friends and Lovers, Gloria Loring and Carl Anderson, Future's So Bright, I Got the Wish Aids, Dubuque 3, The Girl Can't Help It, Journey, Glory of Love, Peter Cetera, Goldmine, Pointer Sisters, Goodbye Is Forever, Arcadia, The Greatest Love of All, Whitney Houston, Hanging on a Heart. Attack, Device, Harlem Shuffle, The Rolling Stones, Heartbeat, Don Johnson, Heaven in Your Eyes, Loverboy, He'll Never Love You, Freddie Jackson, Higher Love, Steve Winwood, Hip to Be Square, Huey Lewis in the News, Holding Back the Years, Simply Red, How to Be a Millionaire, ABC, Human, The Human League, Hyperactive, Robert Palmer 1 I'm By Your Side, Corey Hart 1 Can't Wait, Stevie Nicks, I Can't Wait, New Shoes I Didn't Mean to Turn You On, Robert Palmer 1 Do What I Do, John Taylor 1 Think It's Love, Jermaine Jackson 1 Wanna Be a Cowboy, Boys Don't Cry. I'll Be Over You, Toto, I'm Not the One, The Cars, If She Knew What She Wants, Bangles, If You Leave, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, In Your Eyes, Peter Gabriel, Invisible Touch, Genesis, Is It Love, Mr. Is This Love, Survivor, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Aretha Franklin, Keep Your Hands to Yourself, Georgia Satellites, King for a Day, Thompson Twins, Kyrie, Mr. Kiss, Prince and the Revolution, Land of Confusion, Genesis, Let's Go All the Way, Sly Fox, Life in a Northern Town, The Dream Academy, Like a Rock, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Like No Other Night, 38 Special, A Little Bit of Love, New Edition, Live as Life, Opus, Live to Tell, Madonna, Living in America, James Brown, Love is Forever, Billy Ocean, The Love Parade, The Dream Academy, Love Touch, Rod Stewart, Love Walks In, Van Halen, Love Will Conquer All, Lionel Richie, Love You Down, Ready for the World, Love Zone, Billy Ocean, Mad About You, Belinda Carlisle, Man Size Love, Clamorche, Manic Monday, Bangles A Matter of Trust, Billy Joel, Missionary Man, Eurythmics, Modern Woman, Billy Joel, Money Dollar Too Tight, Simply Red, Mother's Talk, Tears for Fears, Mountains, Prince and the Revolution, Move Away, Culture Club, Nasty, Janet Jackson, Needles and Pins, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Stevie Nicks, Never As Good as the First Time, Sard, Next Time I Fall, Peter Cetera with Amy Grant, Night Moves, Marilyn Martin, Nikita, Elton John, No Easy Way Out, Robert Tepper, No One Is to Blame, Howard Jones, Nothing at All, Heart, Notorious Duran Duran, Oh, People, Patti LaBelle, On My Own, Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald, One Hit, The Rolling Stones, One Step Closer to You, Gavin Christopher, Open Your Heart, Madonna, Opportunities, Pet Shop Boys, Out of Mind, Out of Sight, Models, Overjoyed, Stevie Wonder, Papa Don't Preach, Madonna, Paranoia, The Art of Noise with Max Headroom, Point of No Return, New Shoes, Press, Paul McCartney, ROCK. In the USA John Cougar Mellencamp, The Rain, Orange Juice Jones, Rain on the Scarecrow, John Cougar Mellencamp, Rock Me Amadeus, Falco, Rough Boy, ZZ Top, Rumble Seat, John Cougar Mellencamp, Rumors, Timex Social Club, Russians, Sting, Sanctify Yourself, Simple Minds, Sarah Starship, Saturday Love, Cheryl with Alexander O'Neill, Secret Lovers, Atlantic Star, Secret Separation, The Figs, Silent Running, Mike plus the Mechanics, Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel, So Far Away, Dire Straits, Somebody's Out There, Triumph, Someday, Glass Tiger, Something About You, Level 42, Stages, ZZ Top, Stand By Me, Ben E. King, Stick Around, Julian Lennon, Stop to Love, Luther Vandross, Stuck With You, Huey Lewis in the News, The Sun Always Shines on TV. Ha, Suzanne, Journey, Sweet Freedom, Michael McDonald, Sweet Love, Anita Baker, Take It Easy, Andy Taylor, Take Me Home, Phil Collins, Take Me Home Tonight, Eddie Money, Take My Breath Away, Berlin, Taken In, Mike plus the Mechanics, Tarzan Boy, Baltimore, Tender Love, Force MDs, That Was Then, This Is Now, Mickey Dolenz and Peter Talk, There'll Be Sad Songs, Billy Ocean, These Dreams, Heart, This Could Be the Night, Loverboy, This Is the Time. Billy Joel, Throwing It All Away, Genesis, To Be a Lover, Billy Idol, Tomorrow Doesn't Matter Tonight, Starship, True Blue, Madonna, True Colors, Cyndi Lauper, Tough Enough, The Fabulous Thunderbirds, Twist and Shout, The Beatles, Two of Hearts, Stacy Q. Two People, Tina Turner, Typical Male, Tina Turner, Velcro Fly, ZZ Top, Venus, Bananarama, Victory, Kool and the Gang, Vienna Calling, Falco, Walk Like an Egyptian, Bangles, Walk This Way, Run DMC. War, Bruce Springsteen, The Way It Is, Bruce Hornsby and the Range, Reconnect, Stacy Q. We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, Jermaine Stewart, Welcome to the Boomtown, David and David, West End Girls, Pet Shop Boys, What About Love? Till Tuesday, What Have You Done For Me Lately, Janet Jackson, What You Need, Inks, When I Think of You, Janet Jackson, When the Heart Rules the Mind, GTR, Where Do the Children Go, Hooters, Who's Johnny, El DeBarge, Why Can't This Be Love, Van Halen, Wild Wild Life, Talking Heads, Will You Still Love Me? Chicago, Word Up, Cameo, Words Get in the Way, Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine, Yankee Rose, David Lee Roth, You Be Illin Run DMC. You Give Love a Bad Name, Bon Jovi, You Got It All, The Jets, You Know I Love You. Don't You? Howard Jones, You Should Be Mine, Jeffrey Osborne, Your Love, The Outfield, Your Wildest Dreams, The Moody Blues. Notable hits, Absolute Beginners a Euro David Bowie, Addicted to Love a Euro Robert Palmer, All Cried Out a Euro Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam, All I Ask of You a Euro Cliff Richard and Sarah Brightman, All I Need Is a Miracle a Euro Mike plus The Mechanics, All the Things She Said a Euro Simple Minds, Amanda a Euro Boston, Baby Love a Euro Regina Richards, Bad Boy a Euro Miami Sound Machine, Be Good to Yourself Journey, Best of Both Worlds a Euro Van Halen, Brand New Lover Dead or Alive, Breakout a Euro Swing Out Sister, Big Mouth. Strikes Again the Smiths, Big Time a Euro Peter Gabriel, Bizarre Love Triangle a Euro New Order, Brother Louie a Euro Modern Talking, Both to Each Other a Euro Juice Newton and Eddie Rabbit, Burning Hearts Survivor, Calling America a Euro Electric Light Orchestra, Can't Wait Another Minute a Euro 5 Star, Candy a Euro Cameo, Capitane Bandona Copyright a Euro Gold, The Captain of Her Heart a Euro Double, Chain Reaction a Euro Diana Ross, Cheap Love a Euro Juice Newton, Coming Around Again a Euro Carly Simon, Congo a Euro Miami Sound Machine, Crush on You a Euro The Jets, Cry to Heaven a Euro Elton John, Dancing on the Ceiling a Euro Lionel Richie, Danger Zone a Euro Kenny Loggins, I Just Died in Your Arms a Euro Cutting Crew, Don't Forget Me a Euro Glass Tiger, Don't Stand So Close to Me 86 a Euro The Police, Dreams a Euro Van Halen, The Edge of Heaven a Euro Wham! En Rouge et Noir a Euro Jean Maz, Ave la Vie Toy a Euro Julie Pietri, Everybody Have Fun Tonight a Euro Wang Chung, The Final Countdown a Euro Europe, Flash a Euro Princess Station Copyright Fanny of Monaco, Friends and Lovers a Euro Gloria Loring and Carl Anderson, also recorded as, Both to Each Other by country music artists Juice Newton and Eddie Rabbit. French Kissin' in the USA a Euro Debbie Harry, Girl Can't Help It Journey, Glory of Love a Euro Peter Cetera, Go Home a Euro Stevie Wonder, The Greatest Love of All a Euro Whitney Houston, Harlem Shuffle a Euro The Rolling Stones, Heartbeat a Euro Don Johnson, He's Back a Euro Alice Cooper, Higher Love a Euro Steve Winwood, Hip to Be Square a Euro Huey Lewis in the News, Holding Back the Years a Euro Simply Red, How Will I Know a Euro Whitney Houston, Human a Euro Human League, Human Nature Michael Jackson, I Can't Wait New Shoes, I Want to Wake Up With You a Euro Boris Gardner, In the Army Now a Euro Status Quo, Invisible Touch a Euro Genesis, If She Knew What She Wants a Euro The Bangles, In Too Deep a Euro Genesis, Jumpin' Jack Flash a Euro Aretha Franklin, A Kind of Magic a Euro Queen, Keep Your Hands to Yourself a Euro The Georgia Satellites, The Kids American Jermaine Stewart, Kiss a Euro Prince and the Revolution, Kiri a Euro Mr. La Puerta de Alcala a Euro Ana Bila Copyright N and Vark Manuel, The Lady in Red a Euro Chris de Berg, Land of Confusion a Euro Genesis, La Sixia Mesure a Euro Dalida, Leave Me Alone, Michael Jackson, Les Bartis a Euro Sabine Patchell, Les Dar Copyright Mons de Menuet a Euro Images, Lessons in Love Level 42, Libertine a Euro Marlene Farmer, Live to Tell a Euro Madonna, Living in America a Euro James Brown, Living Doll a Euro Cliff Richard and the Young Ones featuring Hank B. Marvin, Living on a Prayer a Euro Bon Jovi, Locked in a Euro Judas Priest, Love Touch a Euro Rod Stewart, Love Walks in a Euro Van Halen, Mad About You a Euro Belinda Carlisle, Manic Monday a Euro The Bangles, Master of Puppets a Euro Metallica, A Matter of Trust a Euro Billy Joel, Misfit Curiosity Killed the Cat, Modern Woman a Euro Billy Joel, Mountains a Euro Prince, Move Away a Euro Culture Club, My Hometown a Euro Bruce Springsteen, Nasty a Euro Janet Jackson, Never As Good as the First Time a Euro Sard, The Next Time I Fall a Euro Peter Cetera and Amy Grant, Nikita a Euro Elton John, No One Is to Blame a Euro Howard Jones. No Promises a Euro Icehouse, Notorious a Euro Duran Duran, Now and Forever Anne Murray, Old Flame a Euro Juice Newton, On My Own a Euro Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald, Open Your Heart a Euro Madonna, Opportunities a Euro Pet Shop Boys, Oregon a Euro Princess Station Copyright Fanny of Monaco, Overjoyed a Euro Stevie Wonder, Papa Don't Preach a Euro Madonna, Peace Sells Megadeth, Pressure Down a Euro John Farnham, Pretty in Pink a Euro The Psychedelic Furs, Private Number a Euro The Jets, A Question of Lust a Euro Depeche Mode, A Question of Time a Euro Depeche Mode. An Akia copyright Enla importer. A Euro Alaska, Raining Blood a Euro Slayer, Rain or Shine a Euro 5-star, Rock Me Amadeus a Euro Falco, Rough Boy a Euro ZZ Top, Ruthless People a Euro Mick Jagger, Sarah a Euro Starship, Say It Again, Jermaine Stewart, Say You Really Want Me a Euro Kim Wilde, Schoolgirl a Euro Kim Wilde, Showing Out a Euro Mel and Kim, Silent Running a Euro Mike plus The Mechanics, Sledgehammer a Euro Peter Gabriel, Slice of Heaven a Euro Dave Dobbin, Slow Rivers a Euro Cliff Richard and Elton John, Small Town a Euro John Cougar Mellencamp, So Far, So Good a Euro Sheena Easton, Sometimes a Euro Erasure, Somewhere a Euro Barbra Streisand, Stripped a Euro Depeche Mode, Stuck With You a Euro Huey Lewis in the News, Suburbia a Euro Pet Shop Boys, Sweet Freedom a Euro Michael McDonald, The Sweetest Taboo a Euro Sard, System Addict a Euro 5-star, Take Me Home Tonight a Euro Eddie Money, Take My Breath Away a Euro Berlin, Taken in a Euro Mike plus The Mechanics, That Was Then, This Is Now a Euro The Monkees, Tender Love a Euro Force MDs, That's What Friends Are for Euro Dionne Warwick, The Themes from EastEnders and Howard's Way a Euro The Shadows, Teenage Frankenstein a Euro Alice Cooper, There's Gonna Be a Showdown a Euro The Johnnies, These Dreams Heart, Throw Your Arms Around Me a Euro Hunters and Collectors, Throwing It All Away a Euro Genesis, Thorn in My Side a Euro Eurythmics, Turbo Lover a Euro Judas Priest, True Blue Madonna, True Colors a Euro Cyndi Lauper, Twist and Shout the Beatles, Two People a Euro Tina Turner, Two of Hearts a Euro Stacey Q, Typical Male a Euro Tina Turner, Venus a Euro Bananarama, Walk Like an Egyptian a Euro The Bangles, Walk This Way a Euro Run DMC featuring Aerosmith, War a Euro Bruce Springsteen, The Way It Is a Euro Bruce Hornsby and The Range, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off a Euro Jermaine Stewart, What Have You Done For Me Lately a Euro Janet Jackson, What You Need a Euro ANXS, When You Gonna Rick Astley, When I Think of You a Euro Janet Jackson, Why Can't This Be Love a Euro Van Halen, Word Up. Cameo, Words Get in the Way a Euro Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine, Wouldn't It Be Good Nick Kershaw, You Can Call Me Al a Euro Paul Simon, You Give Love a Bad Name a Euro Bon Jovi, You Got It All a Euro The Jets, You Keep Me Hanging On a Euro Kim Wilde, Your Love a Euro The Outfield, Your Wildest Dreams a Euro The Moody Blues. Published popular music, All I Ask of You WM. Andrew Lloyd Webber, Crush on You WM. Jerry Knight and Aaron Zigman, I Used to Be an Animal, But I'm Alright Now WM. Eric Burden, The Lady in Red WM. Chris de Burgh, True Colors Cyndi Lauper, Montego Bay Amazulu a Euro a minor hit in the US in September. Classical music, Elliott Carter a Euro String Quartet No. 4, George Crumb a Euro an idyll for the misbegotten for amplified flute and percussion. George Crumb a Euro Federico's Little Songs for Children for soprano, flageolet flute bass flute, and harp, Mario Davidovsky a Euro Salvos for flute, clarinet, harp, percussion, violin and cello, Ludovico Einaudi a Euro Movimento, Peter A. Paragraph Chvar Paragraph S. a Euro Chinese opera, Lorenzo Ferrero, La Fuga di Foscolo, Anemia, Passacaglia, for flute, clarinet, and string quartet, Intermezzo Porto della Ginestra, Ninna Nanna. Karel Goeyvaerts a Euro, De Heer Liedstad, for chamber orchestra, De Zeven Segels, for string quartet. Witold Lutosławski a Euro Chain 3 for orchestra, Krzysztof Penderecki a Euro The Song of Cherubin, Paul Schoenfield a Euro Kafar copyright music for piano trio. Opera, Harrison Birtwistle's opera The Mask of Orpheus is premiered in London, UK on May 21, Rudolph Bracchi a Euro Gilgamesh, Lorenzo Ferrero's opera Salvatore Giuliano is premiered at the Teatro dell'Opera di Roma on January 25, Lee Hoaby a Euro The Tempest, Giancarlo Menotti a Euro Goya, Michael Nyman a Euro The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. Musical theatre, L'Arcade aux Folles London production, Charlie Girl London revival, Chess London production, Me and My Girl Broadway production, The Phantom of the Opera London production, Time, London production, Sweet Charity Broadway revival. Musical films, Absolute Beginners, HMS Pinafore, Long Dar Lishkara, Little Shop of Horrors, Nam, Otello. Musical television, Barnum. Music festivals, Inaugural Festival International de Louisiane. Births, January 2, Trombone Shorty, American trumpet and trombone player, January 3, Lloyd Polite, American singer, January 5 Tepe Koik, Japanese singer and actor, January 6 Alex Turner, singer and guitarist, January 11, Mythoon, film score composer and singer, January 20, Victoria Asher, American keyboard player, January 26, Hero, Korean singer, Matt Heafy, singer, and guitarist. February 2 Blaine Larson, U.S. country singer, February 6 You Know, Korean singer, February 14 Tiffany Thornton, American actress, February 19 Maria Menna, singer, February 21 Charlotte Church, singer, February 25 Danny Saucedo, Swedish singer, February 26 Crystal Kay, Japan-born singer, March 3 Stacey Orrico, singer, March 12 Danny Jones, singer and guitarist, March 15 Adrienne Leon, actress and singer, March 22 Amy Stott, singer, songwriter and musician, March 26 Johnny Craig, Canadian singer and songwriter, March 28 Lady Gaga, singer, songwriter, and pianist, April 2 Leda Wise, singer, April 4 Yeon Yuk, Korean singer, April 8 Bridget Kelly, American singer-songwriter, Erika Soidiri, Japanese actress and singer. May 13 Alexander Rybak, Norwegian singer, May 14 Alyosha, Ukrainian singer, Joseph Attai, Lebanese singer. May 21 Myra, singer, May 30 Claudia Benny, singer, May 31 Sofo Kalvashi, Georgian musician, June 10 Tinchi Strider, English rapper and producer, June 25 Elia Matsura, Japanese singer, June 28 Kelly Pickler, American Idol singer, June 29 Austin Drage, British actor and singer, July 2 Lindsay Lohan, actress, singer, July 5 Adam Young, American singer-songwriter and producer, August 26 Liza Morgan, singer, Cassie, singer. September 12 Emmy Rossum, actress and singer, September 19 Elias Amanzadi, music producer, October 22 Yvette Gonzalez Nasha, actress, October 24 Drake, rapper, actor, entertainer. November 5 Boa, singer, November 15 Jerry Rush, American singer-songwriter, November 20 Oliver Sykes, English heavy metal vocalist, December 15 Kshaya, Korean singer, December 30 Ellie Goulding, English singer-songwriter. Deaths, January 4 Phil Lynott, bassist singer and co-founder of Thin Lizzy, January 6 36 Joe Farrell, jazz saxophonist, January 8 48 Pierre Fournier, cellist, February 2 79 Francisco Mignone, composer, February 14 88 Edmund Rubra, composer, February 15 84 Galliano Massini, operatic tenor, March 4 90, Richard Manuel, 42, Howard Greenfield, songwriter, 49. March 11 Sonny Terry, blues musician, March 21 74 Raymond Burke, jazz clarinetist, March 22 81 Mark Dinning, U.S. singer, March 30 52 James Caney, U.S. actor, singer and dancer, March 31 86 O'Kelly Isley of the Isley Brothers, April 1 48 Donald Grobe, operatic tenor, April 3 56 Peter Pears, opera singer and partner of Benjamin Britten, April 8 75 Yukiko Okada, singer, April 18 13 Dorothy Ashby, jazz harpist and composer, April 19 53, Dag Weira copyright N, composer, 80, Estelle Yancey, blues singer, 90. June 3 Anna Neagle, actress, singer and dancer, June 13 81 Benny Goodman, band leader, June 14 77 Alan J. Lerner, lyricist, June 16, 67 Maurice de Wafler Copyright, composer, June 17, 84 Kate Smith, singer, June 29, 79, Du Solone Giannini, operatic soprano, July 3, 83 Rudy Vallee, singer, July 18, 84 Don Wilkerson, saxophonist, July 31 Teddy Wilson, jazz pianist, September 27, 73 Cliff Burton, September 24, 28 Robert Helpman, dancer and choreographer, October 16, 77 Arthur Grumio, violinist, October 22, 65 Thorgust Stuber, Norwegian jazz guitarist, November 1, 42 Sippy Wallace, blues singer, November 3, 88 Eddie Davis, saxophonist, November 6, 64, Elizabeth Gra 1/4 Mayor, operatic soprano, November 7, 75 Tracy Pugh, bass guitarist, November 28, 13 Rudolf Schock, operatic tenor, November 18, 71 Lajos Bardos, composer and conductor, November 22, 87 Scatman Crothers, singer, dancer and musician, December 1, 76 Horace Heat, pianist and band leader, December 10, 85, Kate Wolf, folk singer and songwriter, 44, unknown, Boris Gutnikov, violinist. Awards, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opened. The following artists were the first inductees: Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, James Brown, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Fats Domino, the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard and record producer Sam Phillips. Grammy Awards of 1986, Eurovision Song Contest 1986 28th Japan Record Awards. Charts. List of number 1 hits Hot 100 number 1 hits of 1986 US. See also, record labels established in 1986. References